Today's a bit of a strange one. I'm going to put together the best affordable used Leica kit you can buy. So this will be the best combination of lenses and cameras that you can buy for under $12,000. Why did I pick that amount? Because 10,000 wasn't enough, really, that's why. And 15 felt like too much for some people. And 12, it just came in right about 12. And so that's it. Those are the parameters. But really, I think this makes sense for a lot of people. It seems like an obnoxious concept up front, but I always get these questions on YouTube and on Instagram for the best combination of like equipment for this type of photography and that type of photography. And most of you guys out there shoot a bit of everything, so you have different use cases, you have multiple use cases, and most people are on a budget. Some people get the best of the best, not everyone. And I'm always playing this game as well, because sometimes I'll do more editorial work, sometimes I'm doing more personal work, and I'm always sort of buying and selling and using trial and error, and it's exhausting, and it can get expensive. And Facebook Marketplace is not a fun place to sell stuff. So after a bunch of different types of shoots, and after some deep thought, I landed on this used Leica kit that pretty much does it all for me. Mostly editorial work, some commercial gigs, personal documentary projects, and street photography. And stay tuned until the end. I'll give you like a slight upgrade option if you have a few $1,000s extra that you want to add and still stay under $15,000. But for me, this is the best combo I could come up with. We'll start with the camera that's going to eat up a huge portion of the budget, almost half, and that would be a used Leica M10, coming in at around $5,000. And yeah, I'm being slightly favorable with the pricing. I get good deals on used gear in Vietnam. I got a guy, you always gonna have a guy, and I got a great guy. But Leica's best camera, for me, is the M, and I think that's where you should start. And then you expand and you trickle. But farther away you get from M, the farther away you get from the Leica soul. That's my opinion. And it's why you buy a Leica, and it's why you get hooked in the first place. So I'm starting with a huge portion of my budget with a Leica M10. Second, my go-to lens for this kit would be a Leica 35 Summicron f2, used, coming in at about $2,000. I'd use this combo of the M10 and the 35 for my street photography, documentary photography, and a lot of my assignments. I shot an entire year's worth of assignments for the New York Times with a 35mm. And yes, I do own a 35mm Lux by Leica, but that would have eaten up too much of the budget here, and f2 is still pretty awesome. But if I had that as the kit, that would be boring. It would just be a camera and lens, and I would have already been at $10,000 and over. Next, I'd save some serious money here on a longer lens because I don't use it as much, so I'm being smart here, and I'd get a 75mm Voigtlander Nocturne lens. I don't use the mid telephoto that much. I do a lot in my commercial work, but not a lot in my editorial and personal work and my street photography. But this is a great lens with fantastic value. You can get it for around $700. So, okay, we're starting to save a little bit of money here. Next, I'd spend $200 on an M to L converter. I'd get a NovaFlex. That's what I use. You can buy others. That will allow you to use your M lens on the next camera I'm going to recommend, which is the SL2S. And you can find that used for about $2,000. So here, we're starting to get into some pretty good value here, or Leica value, if you will. So the SL2S will cover you for any assignments where you need autofocus. It's a decent video camera. It's fantastic in low light, and 24 megapixels is extremely flexible and covers just about every pro for almost every single assignment. It has a killer EVF, and you can lead or back up your M10 depending on the type of shoot. And then so if I needed a 2-camera combo, I could put the 35 on my M10 and just have the 75 mounted on the SL2S when I need it. So lastly, in case I have an assignment that needs autofocus, or I need to work fast, or I just need some more range, or I just need a backup to the M in case something goes wrong with my lens or my camera. And as a pro, you always need a backup, you always need an insurance policy, and that's why I would pick up the Leica 24-70 2.8 for about $2,000. And it's not an extremely sexy lens. You might say, why not the 24-90? I did own the 24-90, but it is a great lens, but it's so big, so bulky, and every time I add it to my M kit, it defeats the purpose of my M kit, which is to have something lightweight. And things do go wrong with M lenses and M cameras a lot more frequently than they do with my other camera kits. Unfortunately, that's the sad truth. So I need to be worried. I need to have a contingency plan in case something goes wrong. And that's where the 24-70 comes into play. Like, I'm taking on this assignment I'm doing in Cambodia next week for the Smithsonian, and if something goes wrong with my M, that would be my lead camera, I can finish the assignment and feel fine using the SL2S with the 24-70. So this entire package, 2 bodies, 3 lenses, and 1 converter, all comes in just generously, just under $12,000, which is a steal if you're used to Leica prices on things. Just for reference, a brand new Leica M11P will cost you like $9,000 on its own. So that would be almost the entire budget for this little used package I'm putting together. Now, the fun part, if I were to splurge, not like go crazy, but splurge a little bit, I'd probably upgrade that M10 to a used M11 and spend an extra $2K or so. I found a really good deal on a used M11, and then you could have that higher megapixel option just in case you needed it for prints or for a commercial client. Or if you're leaning more towards autofocus and video, and you can justify the SL system a little more than the M, I'd keep the M10 and upgrade the SL2S to an SL3S. And you wouldn't get an upgrade on the sensor for commercial work, but you would get more options for video quality and a better autofocus system. And then another option, maybe if you really want to go lightweight for the upgrade, you don't upgrade any of those things and you spend, I don't know, it's a little bit more, you spend a tiny bit more on that 28-70 that they just released, and you get something really small, and if you're barely going to use it, it might make a little bit more sense. That's truly a grab this lens in case of an emergency. That might work well there, but it's still a lot of money. And again, you're getting 28 and not 24. And I think the 24-70 is the nice balance there in their mid telephoto range. And so, yeah, it's a bit obnoxious, this little experiment here. Other systems will get you way more bang for your buck, but you're not here for those brands. You're here for Leica, and that's why I'm here too, to talk about that. So for now, my pondering is done. This is my ultimate Leica budget used kit. This gives me the most use cases for what I do, which is a bit of everything these days, and always kind of has been. I feel it's sort of perfect, at least for me. I splurged where I could justify it, and I saved where I couldn't. Still, it's Leica through and through, except for the Voigtlander. And there are other options with Lumix and Sigma lenses and things like that, but this is what interested me right now. This is the kit that I feel good with, and I like navigating between menu systems of the same camera. I still do have a Lumix video camera behind me. I use it for YouTube, but not for my regular work. So that's it for today, guys. Tell me your kit. Give me your experimental kit. Tell me if you had $12K to spend, what would it be and why? Put that in the comment section. I like reading that stuff. I like having a dialogue. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Don't forget to check out my online store at askmott.com. I've got one-on-one classes. I've got workshops. I've got my mentorship program. All of it is geared for you guys out there who want to improve in your photography. This is open to all skill levels. I have students, I have retirees, I have everyone in between, people that just want an hour, people that want a long-term relationship with me. All of that is available and more at askmott.com. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to have a wonderful day.